Hello there, my name is Richard McMunn from the interview training company passmyinterview.com, and in this tutorial I'm going to teach you how to answer interview questions that are based on dealing with workplace conflict. So conflict interview questions are common during all types of interviews, and it's important that you understand how to answer them positively. So in this short tutorial, I'm going to give you some brilliant tips, and I'm also going to give you brilliant answers to common workplace conflict interview questions. So what kind of questions are you likely to get asked based on dealing with conflict? Well, the first one is, how would you deal with conflict in a group or a team? And the second one is, tell me a time when you had conflict with another person in a team. So let me now give you two very important tips for answering these questions before giving you two brilliant answers. So the first important tip is, when answering conflict interview questions, always put the needs of the organisation first. And you might want to take a note of this. I would be saying this. Whenever dealing with this type of situation, I will always put the needs of the organisation first. The second really important tip is always show you have the confidence to try and resolve the conflict quickly. We do not want to be answering conflict interview questions by saying, well, it's not my responsibility, I would ask my manager or my supervisor to deal with it. That's not how we want to respond to it. I would be saying, I would deal with the conflict quickly and positively with a view to finding a solution. So let's now take a look at some brilliant answers to those dealing with conflict interview questions. And the first one is, how would you deal with conflict in a group? Here's my suggested answer. I would deal with it quickly and positively. It's important to remember that any form of conflict can have a negative impact on the team's goals and the performance of the organisation. So I would deal with it quickly by following three steps. Step one, I would ascertain what the conflict is concerning and its cause. This would then allow me to suggest options for resolving the conflict. Step two would be to encourage open and honest communication within the group to explore ways we can overcome the conflict together. I think it's also important to try and use the conflict positively. Sometimes conflict can bring teams closer together, so we would need to look for that opportunity if it were present. Finally, step three would be to all agree on a way forward and then commit to it. I am confident that if conflict were ever present in a group, I would be able to help facilitate the resolution of it. Now that is a brilliant answer to that dealing with conflict interview question. How would you deal with conflict in a group? Let's now take a look at one which is slightly harder. Tell me a time when you had conflict with another person in a team. Now the following answer is specific in nature. What I mean about that is they are asking you there, tell me a time when you had conflict with another person in a team. So they are looking for a specific situation you have been in. This is called a behavioural interview question, and I recommend you structure it using what is called the STAR technique: situation, task, action and result. And you will notice in the answer that is coming right now, I am using the STAR technique to great effect. Here we go. When I first started working in a previous job, a team member continually excluded me from team discussions. Despite me trying to get involved, he ignored my contributions. It was my job to not take this personally and to also try and resolve the conflict so I could get to where I wanted to be, which was helping the team achieve its goals. I approached him during a lunch break and started making polite conversation about how long he'd been working at the company for and whether he enjoyed it or not. Again, he started being quite frosty towards me, so I asked him politely whether I had done anything to offend him. I also mentioned how I had noticed he was not including me in the team conversations. As soon as I broached this, he immediately changed his tone and he apologised if he had unwittingly done anything to offend me. Moving forward from that day on, we got on well and we built a good, positive professional relationship which was to the benefit of the team. So that situation shows that you are not afraid to deal with conflict, but more importantly, you take positive action and positive steps to resolve it. And you will notice there that by using situation, task, action and result, you can provide a brilliant answer to that behavioral conflict interview question. Tell me a time when you had conflict with another person in a team. Now, what I would like you to do now to help you further prepare for your job interview is to please click that link in the top right hand corner. It takes you through to that video here on YouTube, which is my top 21 interview questions and answers. Please make sure you watch that video. You will feel more confident in your ability to answer any kind of job interview question. And I also give you some brilliant interview tips in there as well. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the weekly training videos I upload. And also, please give the video a like. That tells me you enjoy the content, and I will therefore spend more time creating it for you. Thank you for watching, and I wish you all the best for passing your job interview. Have a brilliant day.